A clear financial look at the newly reconstructed Bob Hope Pier, where total cost landed. A reminder when you can head out and enjoy the tourist hotspot. Plus, businesses looking to thrive once again with the reopening of a major artery in town means for financial gain. And a water woes double punch. The quantity is not the only issue we face. We look at the quality of that source, why health experts are concerned. Good morning, South Texas. I'm Barbie Leo. It is 8 a.m. Thursday, February 12th. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Barbie. We do have some areas of fog, but want to check back in on the tower cam. You can see there's some type of traffic backup here at Everhart and SPID heading westward towards Crosstown. So keep that in mind if you are heading towards this area here in the next little bit. We are still dealing with some visibility issues down to 0 miles or close to it out at the airport. But as you can see here, visibility's in town, not all that bad. We're sitting at 59 right now across Corpus Christi, and as we head into this afternoon, we'll see partly cloudy skies take over. So as the sun comes out, that'll help to dissipate the fog. Temperatures this afternoon work into the low and mid 80s across the coastal bend, and into tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions and some areas of fog forming yet again. Temperatures get into the lower 60s as we go into tomorrow morning. Again, areas of fog expected to last for the next couple of hours here this morning. That dense fog advisory going until 9, and then we deal with another round of fog into tonight. Barbie.
Thank you, Kristen. Our water troubles continue to be front and center, affecting all of us. The ongoing drought continues to affect the quantity of water we have at our disposal and quality. Our Ryan Hopper shows us a long-term challenge we face and solutions trying to address the problem.
You probably first found arsenic here in your high school chemistry class, but locally it can also be found here and most concerningly down here, which can make people sick after prolonged exposure to an untested well.
In those cases, long-term issues with poisoning, sometimes a darkening of the skin, warts come up with it, kind of these hard parts on your hands. These are things you may see with arsenic poisoning.
Baggerman stressed that arsenic levels slightly above the federal standard, like we saw in Robstown, aren't that troubling because municipalities regularly test their water supply.
So it's unlikely that anyone it's going to have long-term effects from arsenic poisoning because we didn't just start testing last week.
Our levels could continue to rise, however, because experts say arsenic and other metals get into groundwater when aquifers aren't regularly replenished by rain.
Think about it this way, because if precipitation, recharging, replenishing these aquifers is not going to be loaded with this kind of solutes, right? It will dilute those concentrations. But during drought periods, it doesn't.
Mergulo says it's not just a lack of rain, as overpumping can also raise contamination levels.
It's causing water to move faster without the dilution effect. It's mobilizing more, it's bringing more of that solute into the groundwater.
So what can you do to protect your well during this unprecedented drought?
The safest for those that are using it for drinking purposes, for their households, for cooking, having a reverse osmosis system is the safest thing to do.
Ryan Hopper, 3 News.
A portion of those results came from a water system in Robstown, whose district manager is actively working to reduce those levels. His district just struck a deal with CC Water Monday to help alleviate the situation at no cost to taxpayers. Corpus Christi's combined lake levels remain at a record low of full Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon are at 9.4% capacity. The city remains under Stage 3 water restrictions, which means no lawn watering. Only foundation watering on designated days is allowed. And the next stage of drought is a Stage 1 water emergency, which has not yet been announced. Until then, you can review Stage 3 restrictions on our website at KHLI-TV.com. We begin this Thursday morning with the latest information on the reopening of the Bob Hope Pier. The cost of reconstruction on the popular destination was lower than expected. Commissioner Brent Chesney says everything came under budget. While the pier will not officially reopen for a couple of weeks, there is still some work to do. Now, if you head out there this morning, you will notice crews are already tearing down the secondary trestle used during the construction of the structure.
Probably half of it's gone. I mean, they're taking it down as we speak. It will be a continued construction site because we will be building the restaurant in addition to the pier. So there will be some things that'll have to be logistically worked out to where people can have, you know, unfettered access. But we anticipate that. The contractor doing the restaurant knows that. That's not going to slow anything down from people getting on the pier either. It's just going to be, hey, if you know somebody's moving a piece of equipment and they need you to stop for a minute, just like road work, you need to stop and let them move over. But it's not going to delay or it's not going to deny anybody any access during this period of time.
During yesterday's Commissioner's Court, a change order was passed for the company working on the pier, and this was for extra work they did. The pier will be open to the public Tuesday, February 24th at 11. And now for another weather update with Kristen. Kristen.
Hey there, y'all. We do finally have a dense fog advisory that was issued. It was issued right as we were starting our 6 a.m. first edition when I said, oh, the last check, they haven't issued one yet. Exactly at that point, that is when they issued a dense fog advisory. And this one goes all the way out to the island. So everyone is included in this, and that goes until 9 o'clock this morning. Visibilities right now look a little bit better here in Corpus Christi. We can actually see a little bit more, but it still is quite foggy outside right now. And again, not just here in Corpus Christi, but a lot of the coastal bend seeing that fog at this time. Temperatures right around the 60-degree mark. Here in Corpus Christi, we are below the 60-degree mark, some places a little bit above that. As we head into your Thursday, we're going to see those temperatures warming up pretty quickly into the morning hours. And as that happens, it should allow that fog this morning to clear out. Now into the afternoon, another very warm day. We're going to be topping out around 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year in the low to mid 80s. So this is what that looks like across the entire coastal bend. 81 in Corpus Christi, some 70s at the immediate coast, and then getting into the mid 80s towards the brush country and our southern communities. So quite warm today, and we're going to continue with these warm temperatures for the entire 7-day forecast, including your Valentine's Day, which is when we see our next front. We'll talk rain chances and temperatures in just a little bit.
Thank you, Kristen. Now, please take a look at your screen. This is a live look at our tower cam. It looks like a school bus was rear-ended run by another vehicle. Traffic looks backed up as of now. If it's on SPID, if you're around the area, if you're planning to get on SPID this morning, please be careful and look for an alternate route. Slow down and be courteous, of course, and be patient. But once again, there seems to be a school bus. There was a crash. It seemed to have been rear-ended. We can see the police there. CCPD has responded. It is on SPID. So once again, if you're planning to get on SPID this morning, please be careful and maybe just look for an alternate route. A local program is helping first-time home buyers come dream, come build. Provides down payment assistance and guidance for first-time buyers in the area. We met Miss Sanabria, who has been assisted by the organization since last March. She received $49,000 in down payment assistance to buy her first home, and she says the program took what seemed impossible and turned it into reality.
Gracias a ellos, porque sin ellos no pude hacerlo. Siempre se me cerraban las puertas, siempre era algo, pero bueno, hasta ahorita todo muy bien, gracias a Dios y gracias a ellos que cumplí mi sueño y estoy muy feliz por mi casa.
Sanabria says that this achievement is more than a house. It's a foundation for her future and a place to call her own. For more information, you can visit our website at KHLITV.com. All right, how much have you spent on Valentine's Day so far? Well, National Retail Federation says Americans will spend $29 billion this holiday. Now, according to the NRF's annual survey, shoppers will budget nearly $200 for Valentine's Day. That includes gifts for romantic partners, family members, and even pets. And of course, the famous Valentine classroom gift exchange. You got to make the boxes well and all of that good stuff. Candy remains the most popular gift, followed by flowers, cards, a night out, and then some jewelry. Don't forget the jewelry. All right. And if you're a planner or procrastinator, it's officially crunch time. Yes, crunch time already for Valentine's Day. Alexis Green was out at Beach and Blooms checking on flowers and prices and what's flying off the shelves this morning. To get a full look at that, you can visit our website at KHLITV.com. A Coastal Bend message with heart to discover the unique works of art connecting us with our community. The call to action to leave it better than you found it.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do the wiggles.
The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
In today's Tech Bites, another reported delay for Apple's new and improved Siri. The AI-powered Siri was first promised in 2024, and it was expected to launch next month. But Bloomberg reports it's now likely to roll out in parts over time, starting in May, due to trouble during testing. Uber Eats is testing a new AI-powered feature to fill your grocery basket faster. It's called Cart Assistant. You can type out a shopping list, upload a photo of a handwritten one, or screenshot a recipe. The AI assistant will display prices and promotions, allowing you to delete or switch items. Amazon's new Eero signal is meant to keep you connected when the internet goes out. You plug it into any compatible device and it switches to cellular when an outage occurs, provided you have an Eero subscription. Ideal for areas prone to outages. Costs about $100. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
Good morning. Welcome back to 3 News First Edition. It is 8:13. Now, if you've touched foot on Mustang Island recently, you may have spotted something special ahead of Valentine's Day. A Coastal Bend artist is turning the shoreline into a canvas for love. And our Bill Churchwell shows us how Sandy's sentiments are helping save coastal wildlife.
As we approach Valentine's Day, folks will say love is in the air. But here in Port Aransas, it's actually down at your feet.
Out at Horace Caldwell Pier, the tide isn't the only thing leaving its mark. Etched in the sand, framed in seashells. And it's not just catching attention, but the affection of couples walking by.
High school sweethearts. We're almost 44 years.
These hearts are popping up and spreading smiles.
I use these as a refractor of light.
The artist behind it all, meet Nisi Tompkins.
The hearts in the sand, I take their names, I inscribe them in the sand. I put seashells and rose petals and driftwood and seaweed and things like that.
Each one stunning art in the sand, surrounded by natural beach treasure. And just like love, they're also a little messy.
It's too close to the water, they're going to go away.
Lasting just long enough to capture that perfect photo before the Gulf washes it away.
The hardest part is getting the name inscribed on the beach before the tide comes in.
For Nisi, it isn't just about Valentine's Day. It's about pouring back into something else close to her heart. For years, she's volunteered at the Amos Rehabilitation Keep, or the ARK, helping rescue injured pelicans, turtles, and other wildlife.
Well, because I'm a volunteer, I see all the animals they save, and these people the folks that work there, they work like Saturdays, Sundays, very young kids, most of them, and they are so dedicated.
Each $50 heart helps support those rescue efforts, and beachgoers say that's a cause worth loving. Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
Hey there, y'all. Meteorologist Kristen Walla here. Going to dip into traffic here for just a second. This is a live look at SPID. These are the westbound lanes at Everhart heading towards Crosstown. There appears to be some sort of accident with a school bus and another vehicle in front of it. You can see at least 2 ambulances, police blocking the center and possibly the left lane as well, possibly another fire truck behind it. So you can see traffic going down to 1, if not 2 lanes backed up, likely all the way past Staples, if not to Airline. So a big slowdown on your morning commute this morning if you are heading on SPID westbound. Now, in terms of weather, what I'm usually here for, we do have some fog. It doesn't look like that was a contributing factor. It's been pretty clear here in town for the last little while, but out towards the airport where our visibility reading is, that visibility is down pretty low. Otherwise, temperatures are in the 60s, and we do have a dense fog advisory that's going to go for about the next 45 minutes, and that encompasses the entire coastal bend because, as you can see, there is a lot of fog around. Our visibility likely closer to what the Naval Air Station is seeing out towards Flower Bluff. Again, this reading is out at the airport on 44. So anywhere that has red or a quarter-mile visibility or less, which is many places, that qualifies as dense fog. Really, the only place not dealing with visibility issues at this time is Freer. Temperatures across the board in the 60s. Aside from the fog, it is pretty quiet outside and not too much to talk about. In terms of the forecast for today, we'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine with a stray shower, high temperatures topping out in the low to mid 80s. Into tonight, we do that fog all over again. We'll see another round of it. Temperatures tomorrow morning in the low 60s as well, and we start off on the cloudy side of things again. Into tomorrow afternoon, we'll see a chance for another stray to isolated shower. Temperatures are very similar, but will be a little bit breezier into the afternoon hours as a low pressure system is approaching the Lone Star State. So we're going to see that system approaching us, and as this low gets closer to us, that's what's getting our winds stronger. So those stronger winds are coming onshore, bringing in a lot more warm air as well as humidity into the coastal bend. So the fog, the humidity, not really going anywhere for a couple of days until that front comes in into Saturday evening. Saturday, by the way, Valentine's Day, we will see a low rain chance. Right now we have it at widely scattered, but it could go up a little bit to scattered ahead of that front. So the highest rain chances come during the day. Saturday, the front pushes through into the evening and overnight hours. And behind it, we're still pretty warm into the rest of the weekend and early next week. This front is going to do more for our morning temperatures rather than our afternoons. So pretty much every day staying in those low 80s, widely scattered showers again possible for your Valentine's Day. Hopefully not going to ruin any outdoor plans. Maybe you have a picnic on the beach. Just do your best to keep up with the forecast and keep an eye on the radar for your Saturday. Heading into today, we have temperatures getting into the low 80s. Again, we still have that pretty big area of fog over most of the coastal bend in South Texas. That dense fog advisory goes for the next 40 minutes or so. It ends at 9. It doesn't mean all the fog is just going to vanish at 9. It's just going to start to lighten up at that point and will linger for a few more hours. Into lunchtime, we're in the mid 70s, upper 70s in some places, and again into the low 80s this afternoon and every afternoon for the rest of that 7-day forecast. Saturday, we have low rain chances ahead of a weak cold front, and again, that front does more to clear out our clouds and drop our morning temperatures into the 50s for Sunday and Monday, as opposed to doing anything, or much, I should say, for our afternoon high temperatures. Barbie.
Thank you, Kristen. How about a sigh of relief during your morning commute? The city has completed all road work at Everhart and SPID. That's right. You heard right. The multi-million-dollar project has seen many phases in both construction and of those driving away with headaches. Our Josh Maxwell spoke with businesses who also felt the financial pinch and what they hope the reopening of this artery means for future customers.
For those who take Everhart, the new look is hard to miss. But what drivers and nearby businesses say they're even happier to see gone: the construction.
It was basically kind of like a hot mess.
Amber Atkinson, owner of La Vida Bella, says the construction brought its fair share of headaches for employees and customers.
We had put up cones with our business names on them. Well, every other day, my business name would be turned the opposite way to take a left or take a right, or it would be a couple streets down or a couple businesses down. So it was harder for my customers to actually get here.
While work on Everhart is now complete, the city is already looking ahead. Officials recently announced a full reconstruction of Alameda Street. The $15 million project will include similar drainage and ADA improvements made along Everhart. Panacea owner Renee Pena says while the construction brought on some frustrations, he understands the importance of investing in the city's streets.
We're grateful that the city put the investment in this road, and happy that my customers won't be complaining about getting in and out of here.
For Atkinson, while she's grateful for the project being completed, the perk she's looking forward to the most is a simpler commute.
And during traffic time, it was even harder if I was making a left instead of taking a right. So most of the time I would take a right and have to go all the way around.
Josh Maxwell, 3 News.
Thank you, Josh. The reconstruction project will also stretch to Avalon Street and Robert Drive, with both stretches of road set to be rebuilt as well. Now, we do have a couple of road closures to keep in mind. Washington Coles Park, barricades are up, slowing traffic in the downtown area. Now, you can expect Winnebago and Alameda as well as Sam Rankin to be closed. Also, Sam Rankin and Lake as well as Lobo Street. The North Beach Trailhead will still be available with parking at T.C. Ayers Park. Construction is set to be completed by November. Then there's work at Betty Jane and Kane. It is currently closed for utility repairs to a sewer line. You can follow posted detour signs there. And the closure should end next Tuesday, the start of early voting for the March primary. Now, finally, ramp reversal talk. TxDOT is working on eastbound and westbound SPAD exit ramps at Airline from 9 this morning to 4 in the afternoon. This work should wrap in one more day. Crews are along the frontage roads between Airline and Nile, leading to single-lane closures and possible delays. Find an alternate route, slow down, and watch out for crews. Again, this work is part of the SPAD ramp reversal project. I don't think this was their plan all along, but this story does make you wonder about finding love in the air. ABC's Daily News shows us that love can also be found on the waves.
This Valentine's Day week, we're meeting a couple whose love story kind of sounds like...
Did you know it was going to kind of end up being like the Love Boat, too?
No, not at the time.
For about 4 decades, Gary and Susan Parker have been volunteering for Mercy Ships, a nonprofit that brings hospital ships around the world to perform life-changing surgeries in primarily developing nations. Gary was one of the first surgeons to come aboard back in the mid-'80s.
Do you remember what this kid's name was?
Alfred.
You still remember Alfred 40 years later?
It's
the first ones, you know.
He was one of the first patients.
But Gary and Susan can also remember meeting each other in 1987. At 25, Susan had just joined to volunteer as an executive assistant.
You know when a surgeon boards a ship and he's single. The word goes around.
Well, fast forward a little bit, and here are their engagement photos in Ghana before marrying in 1991. Soon, they were raising their 2 children on the ship. Here's their son, Wesley, watching TV with some of the young patients. And here's an interview with their daughter, Karis, from 11 years ago, giving her feedback on what it's like to grow up at sea.
I get to interact with so many cultures, so many people, learn new worldviews and languages and religions. So for me, I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Well, here's how you know she wasn't kidding. In 2024, Karis married a Scottish anesthesiologist she met on a Mercy ship while they were volunteering together.
Well, she said to me, I want you to know, I know my life is starting to look like yours, but we will not live on a ship for 40 years.
And while Gary and Susan cannot be on the ships as much now, even the day of our interview, Susan had woken up at 4 a.m. to check in on a ship in Madagascar during a terrible cyclone.
It's really a two-way street. We're offering the gifts and skills that we have, but we're also learning from what their cultures share with us and what they have as a people that we don't have.
By the numbers, Mercy Ships has performed more than 125,000 surgical procedures and more than 500,000 dental procedures, while more than 500 couples have met and married while serving on board. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
A statewide parks convention in town. Later on First Edition, the push for a brand new sports complex, what it could mean for the city financially.
There are a lot of vehicles on the road with jobs to do. They come in different shapes and sizes, but they have one thing in common. If their flashing lights are activated on the roadside or shoulder, the law says move over a lane or slow down to 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. Remember, when vehicles have flashing lights activated on the shoulder, move over or slow down. Be safe, drive smart.
The Miracle League of Corpus Christi, where everyone gets in the game. Our nonprofit organization removes barriers by offering more inspiring special needs sports programs than any other organization in the Coastal Bend. Join the Miracle League now to discover new friends and build self-esteem through the unity of sports, regardless of age or ability. Enroll your special child or loved one where they too can experience the joy and benefits that come from sports. Register, volunteer, or donate to the Miracle League of Corpus Christi. Everyone deserves a chance to play sports.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much more of the same over the next week.
Motorcycles are not invisible, but they can seem that way to drivers who aren't paying close attention. Look twice for motorcycles. There's a life riding on it.
Did you know Texas Health and Human Services has a free helpline to guide Texas residents through the complexities of Medicare? Get answers to all your Medicare questions, reduce your costs, and access more.
Good morning, South Texas. I'm Barbie Leo. It is 8:27.
Hey there, y'all. I'm meteorologist Kristen Walla. Before we jump into the forecast, a real quick update on traffic. We do have SPID closed at Everhart. Motorists are being diverted to get onto the feeder road. It's backed up all the way to Staples by La Palmera Mall. So just keep your eyes out if you are driving through this area. Again, this is SPID westbound. Temperatures right now 60 and foggy in some areas. Barbie.
Thank you very much, Kristen. A big concern happening here in the Coastal Bend, our water situation. After the water, nearly 1 in 6 Coastal Bend water systems exceeded federal arsenic standard in 2025 testing. Experts warn private wells could face a higher risk. Corpus Christi's combined lake levels remain at a record low. Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon are at a 9.4% capacity, and the city remains under stage 3 water restrictions, which means no lawn watering. Only foundation watering on designated days is allowed. And the next stage is a stage 1 water emergency, which has not yet been announced. Until then, you can review stage 3 restrictions on our website at KIIITV.com. Now, we do have a couple of road closures to keep in mind. Washington Coles Park, their barricades are up, slowing traffic in the downtown area. Expect Winnebago and Alameda, as well as Ram Rankin, to be closed. Also, Sam Rankin and Lake, as well as Lobo Street. The North Beach Trailhead will still be available with a parking at TC Ayers Park. Construction is set to be completed by November. Please stay with 3 News on air and online by going to your smart TV, searching KIII, and streaming away. Have a great day.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan kind, courteous, and safe.
It's not always easy to see how dangerous water is on the road. Strong currents and 2 feet of water can sweep a vehicle away. Don't chance it. Turn around. Don't drown.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
If you build it, they will come. The push by Coastal Bend leaders to design and develop a massive sports complex. Plus, looking to protect NAS and CCAN, the strong message from South Texas elected officials to the federal government, how they are trying to stop more job loss on base. And enriching our Coastal Bend youth with a new middle school. Construction on the latest campus starting soon, how it is designed with the future of learning in mind. Now, let's take a live look at our tower cam we showed you earlier. There was a crash reported involving a school bus. Information is limited, but it looks like the school bus was rear-ended from another vehicle, and traffic looks backed up on SPID in between Everhart and Weber on the overpass of Everhart. Kristen, what are you looking at? There's a second school bus that arrived.
Yes, within the past couple of minutes, this second school bus over here on the left has just arrived. And moments ago, I saw students getting off of this first bus that was here for the last little while, the one that was involved in this incident, and students were getting off and being transported to this other bus, presumably to take them away from here and get them off to school. Again, SPID here at Everhart is closed right now. We've got multiple emergency crews on the scene, and you can see the edge of an ambulance behind this bus. There were another car too. I believe this one right here that's on the back of this tow truck was the one parked right ahead of this bus. Looks like it has a little bit of damage to the back of it. So we're going to continue to keep track of this and keep you updated. In terms of weather, what my typical 9 to 5 is, we have temperatures in the 60s this morning. We're still dealing with areas of fog, but that will dissipate here in the next little bit. It doesn't look like fog was a contributing factor to this. It's been pretty clear in town for the last while, but visibilities are lower across a lot of the coastal bend, and I'll pull that map up here in a second. Temperatures this afternoon getting into the 80s around the coastal bend, so it is going to be quite warm. Here's a look at that visibility right now. Again, our visibility in town probably closer to what the NAS is reporting. This out here is at the airport out of town on 44, so keep that in mind. Dense fog advisory because we have multiple areas with that dense fog or zero visibility in places like Sinton. So this dense fog advisory goes for all of the coastal bend. So that includes coastal areas, the islands, all of it until 9 a.m. So hopefully once we start to warm up a little bit more and the sun is out for a little bit longer, that fog will start to dissipate. It doesn't mean the fog is all gone at 9 a.m. It just means the thickest stuff should be starting to go away. Barbie.
Thank you, Kristen. Now, new to our studios this morning, 2 people are dead following a plane crash in Murchison, west of Tyler. Details are limited. We do know officials say a crash was reported just after 5 last night. DPS and the FAA are investigating. More questions are coming out after all flights were grounded at El Paso's airport. Federal officials say Mexican cartel drones may have breached U.S. airspace. The FAA lifted the temporary shutdown of airspace last night. Reporter Cole Higgins explains the confusion that led to all the trouble.
The airspace over El Paso, Texas is now open after an unprecedented move in modern times.
You wake up in the morning and they're telling you, oh, don't bother going in, it's closed. And I'm like, how could a whole airport be closed?
Late Tuesday, the FAA abruptly issued a flight restriction that immediately grounded all flights up to 18,000 feet around the city for 10 days. The pause was due to, quote, special security reasons, according to the FAA's website, and it effectively shut down the El Paso International Airport.
This unnecessary decision has caused chaos and confusion.
El Paso's mayor calling the surprise closure of his city's airspace unacceptable.
Medical evacuation flights were forced to divert to Las Cruces. All aviation operations were grounded, including emergency flights. This was a major and unnecessary disruption.
Calls for clarification over the airspace closure are mounting. Multiple sources say a Pentagon plan to use a high-energy counter-drone laser without having coordinated with the FAA about potential risks to civilian flights prompted the shutdown.
Members of Congress should be briefed on it, and it's our job to find out if this is routine training or, we've seen these guys go around what they're supposed to do. That's our job, is to ask questions.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration says a Mexican cartel drone crossed into U.S. airspace, triggering the restriction. Cartel drones are often spotted near the border, but historically don't cause airspace closures. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Texas leaders on both sides of the aisle, including Congressman Joaquin Castro and Senator Ted Cruz, say they too are working to get more information about what happened. Mayor Paulette Guajardo joined Nueces County leaders as well as the South Texas Military Task Force and Chamber of Commerce. They're all calling on federal leaders to do more to protect CCAD. They are urging them to halt cuts
Several
to
of
the
those
base.
amendments
Guajardo
take
said
effect
that
this year,
depot supports thousands of families, strengthens the regional economy, and plays a vital role in the nation's defense.
This mission is very, very personal to me. My father worked at CCAD as a helicopter mechanic and raised our family through that skilled, honest work. Because of that, I understand firsthand that CCAD is not just an employer. It represents dignity, stability, and opportunity for families across our region.
The mayor also added that her father worked there as well on helicopters, adding more job losses at all military installations would impact not just Corpus Christi, but the entire region. The city of Corpus Christi continues to explore the possibility of building a large sports complex with the lofty goal of attracting more regional and state tournaments. City leaders say facilities such as this generate millions of dollars for the local economies. Our Michael Gibson shows us a nearby city already striking it rich.
Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo wants to see a large sports complex built here, hoping to replicate the success Portland has seen after that city invested millions of dollars in major upgrades to its sports fields a number of years ago. City leaders here say the goal is to finally attract regional and state tournaments.
A modern baseball complex really positions the city as a regional tournament destination, and that makes a difference. That means people drive here with purpose. They spend 3-4 days here. They spend their money in our restaurants. They spend nights in hotels.
Now over in Portland, their sports complex features 9 baseball and softball diamonds at 2 locations, plus a football field for younger athletes. Regional tournaments are held year-round, generating major economic impact. I spoke with the general manager and assistant general manager about the facility's true success.
Right now, the estimated economic impact that we have right now is $12 million is what we're projecting for 2026.
Assistant General Manager Emily Crabtree says the complex has also kept local families from having to travel elsewhere for tournaments while attracting teams from across the state.
We're able to bring the outside cities like San Antonio, Houston, the Valley, those are the big ones that surround us, to actually come here and play.
This week, the Texas Recreation and Park Society is holding its convention at the Hilliard Center. Park directors and city leaders from 170 cities across the state are attending, and many agree sports complexes are powerful economic drivers.
We've got trails, we've got playgrounds, we've got swimming pools, but you got to have the sports complex as well. It gets kids active, everybody's on their screen now.
The sports tourism industry is huge in the state of Texas, and that is one of our largest economic drivers.
Michael Gibson, 3 News.
Thank you, Michael. And Texas leaders on both sides of the aisle, including Congressman Joaquin Castro and Senator Ted Cruz, said they too are working to get more information about what happened to that. All right, Robstown Early College High School, it's celebrating a major accomplishment. One of its students is preparing to take the stage at the state level. Sophomore Christopher Martinez has been selected to perform with the Texas Music Educators Association All-State Small School Choir in San Antonio. He's one of just 112 students chosen from across the state after a rigorous multi-round audition process. Now, Martinez says he's honored to represent Robstown and is ready for the challenge.
My plan right now is just to learn as much as I can. I'll be with a lot of other experienced musicians, and I'm just excited to learn more and get better as a musician.
We're so proud of what he accomplished. At the beginning of the year, he said, "Mr. Papard, my goal is to make the All-State Choir," and he did it.
Now, after graduation, Martinez plans to attend the University of North Texas and become a music educator. He's using this achievement as a first step toward that future. Congratulations. And a new junior high campus for Tolosa Midway ISD is underway. This comes after land disputes delayed the project, funded by a recent bond using eminent domain to secure the property. Now, our Natalia Ozuna shows us how construction is set to begin this spring and what educational resources will be housed within.
Oftentimes, nothing good comes easy, and Tolosa Midway ISD's new junior high campus is no exception.
Behind us is LyondellBasell, the plant there. And then you've got another plant to the south of us. And then you look in the distance and you can see Flint Hills and all the refineries right there. And there's a plane that's going into a landing there at the airport. So really, we're confined in where we can build.
Patrick Hernandez oversees the district's operations. He says the surrounding industrial area and school regulations made it difficult to secure the ideal piece of land for the campus. Superintendent Steve Van Maitre says the process involved eminent domain with a large landowner in Victoria.
It's not the Texan thing to do for government to take land. And we tried everything humanly possible to find alternative sites.
Van Maitre emphasizing that was a last resort, saying the district paid $2 million for 40 acres.
We're budgeting for around $83 million in construction costs, and then there'll be another 10 to 15% in what we call soft costs, which will make it close to a $100 million facility. But boy, is it going to be nice.
So why build a brand new campus for just 7th and 8th grade? Principal Connie Tierney breaks it down.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we have about 920 students, which is very large for our hallways. We've really outgrown our space.
Working with architects and ensuring her students and teachers get what they need, Tierney has been involved throughout the process.
The building is nice, but being able to restructure, our education and the way we format everything is really going to be most beneficial to students.
Natalia Osuna, 3 News.
Thank you, Natalia. The superintendent says construction is set to begin in April. The new building is expected to welcome its first classes in fall of 2028. All right. Reppin' USA, the medal count so far. Who is striking gold in Milan?
My name is Jacqueline White. I am Northern Arapaho. I was hired to build partnerships on the Wind River Reservation so that we can have food pantries here and work with the tribes.
3, Arapaho!
One of the elders told me, there is no higher honor for our people than to give one another food. I feel so blessed to be able to help people with food on this reservation.
1 dog, 1 cat, 3 bundles.
Food is sacred to our Arapaho people. We utilize that food in all of our ceremonies.
How many children? 9.
For those that will partake, it could nourish their heart, their mind, their body, their spirit. That nourishment that it has, that comes from Mother Earth, we have that respect and love for it.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post 9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
They came to see me in the hospital.
and they've been a constant in my life ever since.
We help warriors get the expert care to adjust back to civilian life.
I got the mental health support I needed to face my PTSD, and now I'm a much better husband and father because of it.
Together with a community of supporters, we make sure no warrior has to face their challenges alone.
I found adaptive sports and made connections. Now I know I can do anything I put my mind to.
Our hands-on programs, community support, and ongoing advocacy help veterans realize what's possible.
I realized it shows strength to ask for help.
I realized new therapies could work for me.
I realized a new purpose, helping other warriors.
And now I know anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/together.
Good morning on this Thursday. Welcome back to the News First Edition. It is 8:45 on 3 News Plus. Thank you for joining us. We're heading out to the slopes where Team USA's medal count is continuing to rise. ABC's Dave Packer introduces us to the rising star taking on the ice and married figure skaters securing silver.
Team USA doubling its Olympic gold today in Milan Cortina and climbing to the leaderboard with 12 total medals, only one behind Norway and Italy. The U.S. now with 4 gold medals, including Wisconsin speed skater Jordan Stolz, who showed he was the big cheese on the ice Wednesday. The 21-year-old winning the men's 1,000 meter. He's seen as a favorite to take home 3 more medals before the Winter Games are over.
It's hard enough just to get 1 gold medal, but one is, it's huge. And for me, just being able to win 1 and doing it in the 1,000 meter, you wait 4 years to be able to do it. It means a lot, so I'm happy so far.
U.S. husband and wife duo Madison Chalk and Evan Bates taking silver in the ice dance final. They took gold in team skating on Sunday.
We couldn't have skated any better, and we're super proud with how we took the ice, how we handled ourselves every time, and the rest is out of our hands.
On the slopes, 20-year-old Elizabeth Lemley won a surprise gold medal in women's moguls freestyle skiing. Her teammate Jalen Koff taking silver. Also taking silver, U.S. skier Ryan Cochran-Siegel in the Super G. U.S. snowboarder Chloe Kim is now eyeing a record 3rd consecutive gold medal in the halfpipe. She topped the leaderboard Wednesday to advance to the finals Thursday. Also on Thursday, U.S. skiers Breezy Johnson and Jacqueline Wiles look for more medals in the Alpine Women's Super G. And U.S. men's hockey takes to the ice for the first time against Latvia. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
The USA definitely representing out there in the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been keeping up with it?
I haven't. Just whatever pops up on social media. The only thing I keep up with is Ilya Malnin.
Okay.
Quad God. He's awesome. Yes.
I think my daughter is a fan as well. Well, she loves the Olympics. She gets home just wanting to watch what it is. So, yes, it's good.
Figure skating, definitely my favorite. Do you have a favorite event?
Figure skating?
Yes.
Because I like that it looks cool.
Yes.
But it doesn't feel cool here.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is not ice skating weather here at all. We have temperatures in the 60s. Here's a quick checkup on SPID. The scene of that incident, that accident, has been cleared. The roadway now open, traffic going smoothly. So good to go back to this area. Again, that was SPID westbound earlier, a accident involving a school bus. 65 right now, and we're still dealing with areas of fog out towards the airport and a little bit farther inland. So that is where our visibility reading is coming from. But you can see here in Corpus Christi, the visibility isn't all that bad. We do have a dense fog advisory that's going to expire here in the next 15-20 minutes or so. That includes the islands, coastal areas, and everywhere inland. So this is what we're dealing with right now. Visibilities are starting to improve in Corpus Christi, but we still have this strip of dense fog from Beeville all the way down to Kingsville, where visibilities are pretty much at a quarter of a mile or less. And other places also still seeing lowered visibility, like Port Aransas, Rockport, and over towards Hebronville as well. So take it easy, take it slow on the roads this morning. Temperatures are currently in the 60s, and as we continue to warm up, we'll see that fog continuing to dissipate. Again, it'll stick around for a little bit longer than when that dense fog advisory expires at 9, but hopefully after that happens, it'll be going away pretty quickly. Into this afternoon, we've got a mix of clouds and sunshine, a stray shower chance, and high temperatures in the low 80s. A very cut and paste forecast for tomorrow. We start off with areas of fog, temperatures in the lower 60s. So that's similar to today, and then tomorrow, the main change is going to be that it's a little bit breezier. We'll see winds of around 10 to 20 miles per hour, and the rain chance is a little bit higher, closer to isolated rather than stray shower. Temperatures, though, very, very similar. The reason we're going to be getting windier and breezier is this low pressure system moving through the central plains. That's going to bring our next front down to the coastal bend, and as it gets closer to us, it's bringing our wind speeds up, and those winds are coming onshore, meaning we see warmer and more humid weather here in the coastal bend. We will see a low rain chance widely scattered on your Valentine's Day ahead of that front, and then the front makes it through the coastal bend into Saturday evening, Saturday overnight. Behind it, we have clear skies and still warm temperatures. What this front is going to do is more so bring us that low rain chance and give us a little bit of relief for our morning temperatures, not so much the afternoons. So for your Saturday Valentine's forecast, keep an eye on the radar, keep up to date with those rain chances, but it shouldn't be a washout by any means. High temperatures for Valentine's Day in the low to mid 80s, and that's about what we're going to be seeing just every single day here, really. 81 in Corpus Christi today, a little bit warmer farther inland, and again, here are those low 80s every single day, including Valentine's Day, President's Day, and Ash Wednesday. That one looks to be the warmest on our 7-day forecast. Barbie.
Thank you, Kristen. At one North Texas high school, teachers begin their work week with a little extra pep in their step. A student-run coffee shop is serving up more than just lattes. It's building confidence, teaching life skills, and putting big smiles on some very proud faces.
It's a busy morning in Ms. Beck's classroom.
It's crazy hour.
Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome to Champachino's. Thank you for visiting.
Champachino's is a coffee shop for teachers run by students with disabilities.
What can I get for you?
Teaches them all a bunch of life skills. We have a greeter, a menu passer, and money passer, and then we have a cashier, and then the barista.
What can I get for you?
Shiloh Smith is the barista with a smile, taking all the orders.
So busy.
She loves to talk to everybody.
You pay a little bit, please.
Okay, can I get a high five or a hug?
Hug. Mom.
Her mother sees the change it has made for Shiloh.
Seeing just her confidence grow and getting to come to school every day and show people her strengths and her gifts. She's such an outgoing girl, and getting the opportunity to greet everyone every day, I just see what a smile it puts on her face every week.
I think they were all really nervous to start, but I think now that they see like all the teachers come, and all the teachers I think look forward to it every Monday, it's just like such a great thing for them to experience.
This experience is possible because Beck received a local grant that covers the cost of all the supplies.
How neat for Champachino's to be a program that was developed by Erica to think outside the box. She didn't have to worry about funding because she applied for the La Fiesta Teacher Innovation Grant, and the La Fiesta approved it and gave the funding for it, and she's off running with a fantastic program.
Be careful, it's hot.
A program Beck hopes shines a light on the abilities her students have rather than their disabilities.
Champachino!
Hey everybody, here at ShopTVDeals.com, we'd love to bring you products that are actually going to make your life better. Take a look at this right here. This is an actual legitimate bank statement. And the only reason I feel comfortable showing that on camera is because of this amazing little device right here, the ID Defender. This is going to save you so much stress and so many problems and so many headaches, and it's so easy to use. Check it out. You just roll it off, and any private information that you want to make unreadable, one roll and you're done. Just like that. So much better than shredding, which is not environmentally friendly. It takes a while, it takes up space. Don't go that route. Also, this Sharpie, not gonna save you either, because sometimes the Sharpie, even though you've used it on information, when you hold it up to the light, you can still kind of see what it says. Years ago, I was taking care of my sick dad and I had to deal with all of his papers. I wish I'd had this. I could have saved a fortune in shredding. 6.5 million cases of identity theft reported to the government in 2024 alone. That's a massive problem, but here's a simple solution. On top of that, we have an absolutely great deal for you. Almost 50% off this 3-pack yours for $24.97. For more information, just check out that QR code, scan it there on the bottom of your screen, or check us out online at ShopTVDeals.com. The ID Defender, a simple, amazing solution to a big and growing problem. Be sure to check it out. Keep you and your family safe.
Everyone loves a champion.
someone whose performance puts them head and shoulders above the rest. But not all champions wear a medal or hoist a trophy. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. We believe abuse can be prevented by taking a hard look at how we coach, how we train, and how we interact after the last whistle. We've provided millions of safe sport trainings to coaches, athletes, and sport allies. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we're shifting sport culture because every athlete deserves to compete free from abuse.
It's traumatizing when you have a sick child. Then you are tired, very, very tired. The Ronald McDonald House is next to the hospital. They have a washing machine, kitchen, nice bed, but it's also being with parents of other children that are sick. It's very important for healing yourself. And when you are healthy, you can take care of your child.
And just like that, she starts to grin. The spark of something new begins. There's something in the water. On her own, she's in the zone. Resilience building in her bones. There's something in the water. On and off the boat, she flies. A force of nature on the rise. There's something in the water.
Good morning, South Texas. I'm Barbie Leo. It is 8:56.
Hey there, y'all. I'm meteorologist Kristen Wallach here to lead us a look at fog across the coastal bend. Visibilities are slowly coming up. We're up to 8 miles in Corpus Christi at the airport, but still a line of dense fog from Beeville all the way down to Kingsville, even over to Rockport. So it is still foggy in some areas, like out in Port Aransas. You can see that from our Coastal Parks beach cam. Otherwise, we're starting to see the sun come out and temperatures rising as well. That's going to help to disrupt that fog and get it out of here. Into this afternoon, temperatures getting into the lower 80s. Barbie.
Thank you, Kristen. Commissioner Brent Chesney says the cost for the new Bob Hall Pier costs less than expected. The work done as of now has come in under budget despite all of the construction that has gone into putting everything together. And while the pier is set to open in a couple of weeks, you should note there is still some work to do. If you've been in that area in the last week or so, you may have noticed that crews are already tearing down the secondary trestle used during the construction of the pier. And completion of road work at Everhard and SPID is done. Work down Everhard had been in place for some time for water and infrastructure repairs. Now, yesterday, they made the announcement that the road is all clear for drivers to head to their destinations without detours rerouting them. And a big concern happening here in the coastal bend, our water situation after the ongoing drought affecting the quantity of water. Nearly 1 in 6 coastal bend water systems exceeded federal arsenic standard. In 2025 testing, experts warn private wells could face a higher risk. Please stay with 3 News on air and online by going to your smart TV, searching Kage Balai, and streaming away. Have a great day.